Good morning. Today we build a wonderful watermill. How will the watermill look when it's finished? Will Thaldrim survive an attack from the pillagers? Welcome to MorningCraft, episode 6. Good morning, and it is it's late afternoon. We're just going to have to roll with it. But today we're going to be building a watermill, and I'm running a little bit low on food. But I want to build a giant watermill over here. So hopefully the villagers don't escape. That should keep them nice and safe. And I can grab some wheat and I'll show you where we're going to build this watermill. Okay, so I want to build a watermill that will help us process all of our wheat. And I'll probably want to build it around here. I feel like on this corner here is going to be the perfect place as it flows into this river. So I think it's about time we get to work.
In the dead of night, the watchtower sounded out a horn of attack. The raiders had returned.
Bring me my hammer. Go, dog, up the hill. Dirty pillagers, draw near and feel the might of my great mace.
Seems you're outnumbered.
I do not feel outnumbered at all. You may shoot us, but by the time I am hit, this mace will be on course for the three of you. And that dog's sword will be through the other three. Harold will make a good leader in our stead. Unless, of course, you miss.
The High Priest sends his regards.
The High Priest? What does he have to do with this?
Lot of gold for your heads.
Ensgate 2 can't be because of the dog. I don't think he wants anyone round here.
So I cut down a few trees to make room for our brand new mill. And with those gone, I was able to start construction. I wanted to split the river in two, with one half used for the waterwheel, and the other half a slipway for water to run through, uninterrupted. I built a pillar in the middle of the water, and then a long shaft that would hold the waterwheel and generate torque for all the machines inside. I then laid out the rough structure of the building using oak logs, and when that was done, I hollowed out the rest of the building, taking away any excess dirt and stone. This is a pretty important step for most people, but I always leave interiors blank, so I'm not sure why I bother. I then came back to the waterwheel's pillar and fortified it with a bunch of gravel, and I even built a nice little island for it to sit on. And with that done, I added a beautiful flower bed in the middle of the island, and then I widened out the river so that boats can still pass the mill. And with all of that done and the sun setting again, I came back to the building and started to lay down the structure of the walls. I'm going to have a nice little jetty in the front of the building where people can bring boats and land. You can imagine a chest boat full of wheat coming to the building to turn it into flour. I then built a ton of structures and supports between the walls and built a lovely overhang using stairs, slabs, and trapdoors. This overhang is super important as I want the second floor to jet out from the side of the building. And you can see me putting that in now. I left room for a little balcony over the jetty. And with that done, it was time to build up the second layer of walls. I wanted the corners to be divided by oak logs. And the walls were really starting to come together. But first, we gotta check in with the Wall of Hope. In the last episode, I didn't actually put a quote on the wall, but I grabbed 2 from the previous episode and put these up here. Also extended the wall a bit. We're going to need it. If you've got any ideas for what should go up here next, comment them down below. And at this point, some safety inspectors, in the form of pillagers, had turned up to inspect my work. This episode is pretty pillager heavy at this point, so luckily they didn't bother me too much. And with that, the second layer of walls was finished. It was time to get to work on my least favourite part of any build, the roof. I added a bunch of logs around the edges of the roof, and with those in place, I added a nice trapdoor trim around the top layer. With this all in place, I added in some spruce slabs to build up a gabled roof. And I worked all through the night to bring this roof to life. I added layer upon layer, like some kind of Minecraft 3D printer. And it began to fill with moonlight as I finished it off. The pillagers did seem quite impressed. I did a little bit of work on the interior, adding in some stairs and adding this balcony. And then I carved a few windows out of the cobble walls. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this, but you're going to have to wait till the end to see the actual water wheel. It looks pretty good, so make sure you stick around for that. Okay, story time.
Do they still seem outnumbered? We have come to help you, dog. And it's nice to make your acquaintance, Hammerman. You will tell us why the High Priest asked this of you. I seem scared enough to volunteer information, but still have nothing to say.
It seems they weren't told why.
I have seen the ships from the capital poking around the back of Mount Thaldrim, most likely related.
It sounds to me like they don't want anyone to know what exactly they're doing here.
We'll maintain a watch for you, Hammerman and Dog. Tomorrow we will discuss this matter further.
Siege Shatter Mill sits on the river, grinding away at all the wheat the village produces. Its beautiful water wheel is turned perpetually by the constant flow of its river. And with this mill, food in Thaldrim is going to become more plentiful and tastier. And I think it makes a great addition to our village. Things are really starting to shape up here, and it feels like we have a whole kingdom on the way. But without further ado, let's find a quote to start your day.